There it is. He timed it right. Counting
to explode with the left. Oh, and that right, but Davis took off some of the steam of the punch, but still.
Welcome to the motherfucking lady. We're covering today's top boxing news.
Okay, we'll start with this. In light of Gervonta Davis's latest legal skirmish, what seems to be his biggest fan, or one of the biggest, Eli Too Real. You might have come across this character on Twitter. Too real?
Yeah.
So real he can't use an actual profile picture to attach a face to these tweets? Well, that's how some of these younger kids in this generation are. The only way they feel comfortable enough to use social media to, in effect, socialize is if you don't know what they look like. In light of Gervonta's latest legal skirmish, he said Floyd Mayweather put his hands on a woman and admitted it, but was still praised as the GOAT. Mike Tyson has a documented history of physical and sexual violence against women, but is still praised as the best heavyweight of all time. Sugar Ray Leonard admitted to hitting his wife while holding their infant child, but is still praised as one of the greats.
So fucking what?
All three of these boxers have committed serious crimes against women, but the boxing community won't judge you for being a fan of them unless that name is Gervonta Davis. Well, if you want to keep being a fan of the Butterball, keep being a fan of the Butterball. I just don't know what you're a fan of at this point since his boxing career is over. Eli Too Real continued. The difference is, women lie on Tank's name. That boy ain't do it. The CCTV video of Gervonta Davis putting his hands on his then-girlfriend some years ago, it didn't lie. You can see plain as day Gervonta Davis put his hands on that girl, and not only that, take a full-on swing at her. And in his latest legal kerfuddle, there's supposed to be CCTV of that corroborates everything that girl said. So why do you need people to believe that he's innocent? You just likened him to Floyd Mayweather, to Mike Tyson, to Sugar Ray Leonard on the premise that those fighters aren't perfect, they had their own legal troubles, and people were still allowed to be fans of them. Why aren't you allowed to be a fan of him? Except that you are. Nobody's stopping you from hanging up Gervonta Davis posters up on the wall of your crummy little apartment.
Go ahead.
Nobody's stopping you from watching your favorite Gervonta Davis reruns like his massive win over Isaac Cruz or Mario Barrios. These legendary fights, these legendary nights. So maybe, not that I'm condoning domestic violence of any kind, because I'm not. The reason that guys like Mike Tyson and Sugar Ray Leonard and Floyd Mayweather are still held in high regard is because in their craft, in their sport, they still managed to accomplish a lot. I can tell you now, having lived through the Mike Tyson era,
You had to be there.
Gervonta Davis doesn't have an iota of the celebrity that Mike Tyson had in his heyday. Mike Tyson transcends the mere sport of boxing. At this point, he is a pop culture icon. Gervonta Davis, Mike Tyson is easily one of the most recognizable athletes of any kind in any sport, anywhere in the world. Featured in video games and feature films, music references. Mike Tyson's celebrity was so much that Gervonta Davis is a poor simile, a very poor simile, and Floyd Mayweather, his accomplishments inside of the ring, becoming a bona fide 5-weight world champion, facing practically all of the somebodies, almost all of them, in his time.
Something Gervonta Davis did not do and isn't about to.
You see, with Floyd, it's not even a question of who he fought so much as when he fought them. That's what people are critical of, but at least he fought them, which is more than we can say for Gervonta, who didn't fight Vasyl Lomachenko, didn't fight Teofimo Lopez, George Kambosos, Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, had no intention to either, because at the beginning of last year, he said, he wanted that to be his last year in the sport of boxing. He was gonna leave, leaving behind all that unfinished business, all that food on the plate. Floyd Mayweather's accomplishments were so much and his career earnings were so much that you still have to make light of them in spite of his glaring character flaws, going on to become the top earning boxer in the history of boxing, being attached to the biggest and highest grossing boxing matches the sport had ever seen. Can we say that about Gervonta Davis? Since you want to compare him to them. No, we can't. because Gervonta Davis is not this era's Mike Tyson. He didn't achieve that same level of celebrity. He's not this era's Floyd Mayweather in terms of legacy, accolades, pound for pound, none of it. Career earnings, none of it. He's not this era's Sugar Ray Leonard because Sugar Ray Leonard fought the other guys in the Fab Four. He fought Tommy Hearns. He fought Duran. He fought Marvin Hagler.
He fought him.
He fought Wilfredo Benitez. He moved up in weight, moved way up in weight, and fought Donnie Lalonde.
Who's Gervonta Davis's Donnie Lalonde supposed to be? Mario Barrios?
I noticed something about the kids in this younger generation and how they aspire to be talked about and thought of like their predecessors, the heroes of old, without the merit,
Without having to earn it.
You want us to think of Gervonta like we think of Mike Tyson, the youngest heavyweight champion in history. But what records did Gervonta Davis break? And as a box office star, did he generate in boxing what Mike Tyson generated in boxing? Did he generate what Floyd Mayweather generated in boxing? Did he accomplish what Floyd Mayweather accomplished in boxing? Or Sugar Ray Leonard?
Did he?
Sugar Ray Leonard, part of the Fab Four of his era, he fought them. Did Gervonta?
No. So what the fuck are we supposed to remember him for?
What's so remarkable about Gervonta Davis's career so far?
Nothing.
Glad it's over? It's very hard to imagine that he's going to come out of this without having to do some time, and by the time that time is up, his physical prime will be over, his best years will be up, and the small rabble of individuals who used to defend him will have dissipated and found something else to do. That applies to you, Eli.
Get a hobby.
Elsewhere in the world of boxing, content creator Two-Tone the Superstar took to his social media and said, Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez's card ain't got social media buzz, but in real life, the tickets are selling. Y'all can check them charts like y'all do for every Tank Davis fight.
They're moving.
We're also gonna need the pay-per-view numbers to drop too, because y'all be hiding them when them shits go double wood. It's a stout observation from Two-Tone the Superstar that in spite of not having that much social media buzz, the tickets for the fight are moving, and moving quickly, more than I thought they would. What does that really mean?
What I always tell you, that just because people are talking about something online metrics in and of themselves don't always translate into real-world dollars, because online,
It doesn't cost you nothing to sit on Twitter talking about somebody all fucking day, or sit in the Twitter spaces, watch YouTube videos.
doesn't cost nothing.
So just because something gets talked about a lot online doesn't necessarily mean it'll translate into dollars in real life.
generally speaking, what you see online, whether something is talked about, or in this instance, something that isn't. It's not that much social media chatter around Stevenson versus Lopez, and the tickets are selling like hotcakes anyway. Maybe it's because the demographic of individuals that spend all day talking online ain't the same demo that actually goes to a fight.
Or buys a pay-per-view. Have you ever thought that for all the time these people dedicate to sitting online and talking about these fights and talking about these boxers, they must not have day jobs or any real source of income to buy a ticket to go to a fight or to buy a pay-per-view. So maybe the demographic that does all the chattering online ain't the same one that actually spends money.
Think about Clarissa Shields.
In terms of online metrics, Clarissa Shields is a very popular subject right now that moves the needle. Without context, there are a lot of content creators talking about her, and she is arguably more popular now than she ever has been. In spite of that online popularity, the tickets for her fight aren't moving.
Aren't selling.
In spite of all the online chatter. So maybe online chatter and online metrics aren't all they're made out to be. Of course, Stevenson finally secures his star-making shot versus Teofimo Lopez, and he's promising to seize it.
This is his kingmaker.
Shakur Stevenson kept calling out the competition. Teofimo Lopez Jr. finally answered. After years of yearning for a career-defining fight, Stevenson finally got the mega matchup he was looking for, and now he'll meet the Ring Magazine and WBO junior welterweight champion Lopez at the end of this month to headline the Ring 6 at MSG in New York. I've been thinking about fighting him since the amateurs, Stevenson said. During a recent face-to-face conversation with Lopez on DAZN, I admired the type of boxer that he was. He had the skill set to shine. I wanted to see myself against that. If you look in and around my weight class, I can't get the other fighters to get in the ring.
He's not lying. The WBC ordered both Frank Martin and Isak Cruz to fight Shakur. Both of them walked away. Gervonta,
You couldn't offer that guy enough money to share the ring with Shakur Stevenson. That's the credit that we have to give Teofimo. At least he's willing to. Shakur became 126, 130, and 135-pound champion. Stevenson started screaming from the mountaintops, calling for clashes against the likes of Gervonta Davis, Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Vasyl Lomachenko, but he could lure none of them into the ring. Instead, Stevenson had to settle for a group that's headlined with wins against William Zepeda, Josh Padley, Robson Conceição, Oscar Valdez, and Jamel Herring. A lot of people didn't give me the opportunity to show my greatness, said Stevenson. A lot of fighters either ducked or found the business way not to get in front of me. Teo gave me the opportunity of a lifetime. I've been building my career, and the moment has come. Teofimo was willing to do it, and now we're here. I'm turned up. Let's go get it. I fight whatever style is needed to win. I hope they expect a better version of me on fight night. I want to prove how great I am. After I get out of the ring, I want everyone to talk about how I'm that guy. I am coming to put on a show.
as stated, this is Shakur's Kingmaker like the Lomachenko fight was Teofimo's Kingmaker.
And it's for that reason I emphasize, I stress, it's not enough to just win. To get out there and win a safe, ho-hum points decision. What separates the good fighters from the really great ones are the ones you can give points for style.
Shakur has had one or two performances that did not please the audience. Hopefully at the end of this month, he'll back up the talk, live up to his words, and put on a show. Because this one costs extra. There's another card happening that same night. You need to give people a reason to pay the extra money to see yours.
Teofimo Lopez, who has a history of taking on tough challenges as evidenced by his victories over Lomachenko and Josh Taylor, proved to be an exception. Now the underdog Lopez is ready to break the bank and give Stevenson a rude awakening. It's the best fighting the best. You see Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez fighting each other, and you want to emulate that, said Lopez. Shakur is a great fighter. We can't say we are the best and not test it. My goal is to defend my throne. I can't call it the takeover and have someone come take it over.
For Lopez, what this would mark is a string of victories over high-level fighters in Lomachenko, Taylor, now Stevenson. If he were to win, I don't think he's going to.
But that's what this would mark. For him, that's what this would mean. I don't think this is the kingmaker for Teofimo that it is for Shakur Stevenson. This is the biggest fight that Shakur would have ever been in, and against the best opponent.
Another byproduct of Turkey's entry into the boxing space. I tell you now, this is another fight that would not have come together on its own, if not for him.
Irrespective of who wins, I just hope that they put on a show, that it is at least entertaining for the extra money I gotta kick out to watch it. Men's cruiserweight news. Boxer Chief reveals the two names he wants to match with Chris Billam-Smith. Promoter Ben Shalom has revealed two names he would be willing to match with former cruiserweight champion CBS, the Bournemouth man. Currently the ring's number 2 rated operator at Cruiser has not fought since last April when he outboxed Brandon Glanton to earn a decision win in Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It was the only fight of the year for the 35-year-old whose contract with Boxer expired at the end of last year. He is now back in the gym and working towards a springtime return. CBS has been one of Boxer's most important figures since arriving in 2022, a run which included capturing the WBO title by beating Lawrence Okolie in May of 2023. But founder Shalom says there are currently 2 fights he would be willing to promote involving him. He's still part of our plans, but only for the right fights, Shalom said. We've offered him the Jack Massey fight. We love that fight. Jai Opetaia was another fight we could make. We want those fights. Ring Magazine champion Opetaia had a successful 2025 with 3 wins and 3 knockout victories. Billam-Smith's compatriot Massey, meanwhile, was stopped by Opetaia in October of the previous year, but got back to his winning ways by beating Ivan Gabriel Garcia in November. For us, it's about what fights excite us, Shalom added. Jack Massey, we want that fight. Jai Opetaia, I do that. but it's gotta be fights that the broadcaster is going to be interested in at this stage. Billam-Smith failed in his attempt to unify his WBO title with the WBA champion Gilberto Ramirez, who won their Riyadh season clash on points in November of 2024, but he remains highly ranked across the sanctioning bodies.
Well, you can fucking forget about a Jai Opetaia fight since news has since broken that he's joined Zuffa Boxing, and Boxer's wallet is no match for Zuffa's, so if Chris is gonna fight Jai Opetaia anywhere, it would be on their side of the street, not his.
And I suppose that he could see about fighting Jack Massey, though I don't know how much or how little that fight moves the needle. I know it doesn't move it here in America at all. In the UK?
Maybe.
The IBF have Chris Billam-Smith sitting at third. Although the first two slots are empty, he's at number 4 with the World Boxing Council and the WBA's number 8 rated contender. He also had been ordered to face Roman Frez for the WBO interim title while Ramirez recovered from shoulder surgery, though the Englishman decided against accepting the fight following a purse bid in October. Roman Frez wasn't something our broadcaster was interested in, or anyone really, from the purse bid, Shalom said. We want the fights, but he's at a stage of his career where that's the only thing that's gonna tick the box, and he knows that. We've had an unbelievable run with Chris, and I'm totally in awe of the man. I'm really proud of what we achieved with him beyond his wildest dreams, to be honest. World titles, unifications, stadium shows, everything.
Well, listen, I already told you, I don't think a Jai Opetaia fight happens, at least not on their side of the street. And Jack Massey, that's an all-right little fight, I guess, domestically, but I will offer up a third option.
Jai Opetaia is not Chris's only avenue of opportunity to box for a title. I'm pretty sure that the newly crowned WBC champion Noel Mikhailian would be willing to defend the green and gold belt against him voluntarily.
During his first run as WBC champion, I remember he actually traveled to the UK, made an appearance on Sky Sports to call out Chris when Chris still had his title. Now, to my knowledge, Noel Mikhailian is not otherwise preoccupied right now, bogged down with mandatories.
No, he's free.
You know, Zurdo Ramirez is all tied up with what's supposed to be the David Benavidez fight in May. Jai Opetaia is all tied up with his upcoming Zuffa debut, leaving only Noel Mikhailian available to afford Chris his crack at the apple. Would the people at BBC be interested in paying for that?
It is a title fight after all, against the champion.
Perhaps not all that well known a champion, but the people do know Chris. They might be interested in seeing Chris box for a title.
And it's the most winnable title fight he could be in, because you already lost to Zurdo, and nobody believes that Chris can beat Jai Opetaia, but Noel Mikhailian, he's got a shot.
It's just me bouncing ideas around. Ben Shalom didn't mention Noel. I did.
Ultimately, we'll see what happens, or what doesn't.